this is a function name change, then a is the parameter and n is a argument. So this part is called a function calling part. This part is called a this is called a function header, and this is the function definition, function defined here. Then this a function called another function is called caller, a function called another function is called caller. So who is the caller here? That is, somebody called this function. Who called this function? This main function. This main called this function. So here the caller is main. Suppose some another function called this change means that function is called caller. Here, who called the function? That called caller. So here who called this function? Main. Main called this because this calling is inside the main. So caller is, this is the caller. Main is the caller. So here. Next one, who being called by some function or some other part. Who being called is called function or callee. So the main function called this function. So this function is also called function, then or callee. So don't forget this term. Callee means the function being called. This called function and callee are same. Caller means who called a function. This main function called this change function. So main is called caller. Then who being called? So here who being called here? Change a. So that function here it is called function or callee. So write this program and with these term in your copy notes. Don't forget about this. So this is callee and called function are same. Then now I think you understand what is caller. Next one here. Here you already know what is argument. Argument is passed to parameter. Here n is argument and a is the parameter. So argument has some other name. It is called actual parameters or actual argument. Argument is also called actual parameters and actual argument. Here, this is called parameter. This parameter is actually called parameter is also called formal parameters or formal argument. So don't confuse with that. This argument is also called actual parameters or actual argument. Then this parameter also called formal parameter or formal argument. So write this program and this term in your copy notes. Then I'm going to this is the, did you see that here n is a variable, then change n plus 2. Now n value, which value is copied from here to here? What is the value of 5? What is the value of n? 5. 5 plus 2, 7 is copied to here. So this is legal. You can call this function from here using this method. That is, you can pass the argument with the arithmetic operation. But here, if you pass in here if you anything right here plus 1, this is illegal. This is illegal. You cannot do any arithmetic operation in parameters. It is not possible. You can do any parameter. This n minus 2 is possible, n by 2 is possible, n floor 2 is possible, n division by 2, division 2 is possible, n by 2 is possible, n by 3 is possible. Anything is possible in argument. This is legal, but you cannot do any operations here. This is illegal. If you do like this, this is illegal. So maybe in your exam question come like this: find the error, find the mistake of the given program. Maybe the question contain this error, so you can say that this is illegal, this operation is not possible here. But in argument it is possible, but here it is not possible. Next topic, parameters. You can pass the value from caller function to callee function. That is, you can pass the value from this position to here. That is passing argument in 3 ways. You can do it in 3 ways. First one, positional argument, then default argument, and keyword argument. These are the 3 types of passing arguments. You can pass argument, pass the parameters in 3 ways: via positional argument, using keyword argument, or using default argument. Here I am going to show you what is positional argument. Here, what is the value of n? 6. What is the value of m? 7. So this argument is copied to parameters. Then these parameters get the value according to the position of the argument. According to the position of the argument. So this is called positional argument. That is the first position. The first value of the argument is copied to the first variable of the parameter, the first parameter. Then second argument is passed to the second parameter. So this parameter get value with respect to the position. Then here you can there is some mistake. Some mistake is possible here. Here supposing that here is only one parameter here, but I'm going to pass here 2 argument. So if you run this program, suddenly you will get an error, because this is the positional argument. So n is copied into a because of the first position. Then there is no space for copying m value. So suddenly it will show, Python interpreter show the error. So this is the one type of error. So instead of using this variable, you can directly type the values also. Here is no issues here. Then here a comma p. The argument value in positional argument, the argument value and parameter value should be same. Otherwise, it will Python interpreter show error. Here, the 5 is copied into a, then 7 is copied into b. This is also possible. Then, if I don't write this one, change a only. So, what happens? Suddenly it will show another error. This 5 is copied into a, then what is the value of b? B is not defined here. B is not defined here. Suppose you think that if I print here b, if I print here print b, then if I run this program, suddenly I will get an error, because b is not defined. Error is b is not defined, because only one argument is passed to the parameter. So if you doing position argument, careful about the number of, you must be careful about that the number of parameters and the number of arguments should be same in positional argument.